Well, good afternoon. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Replays. And as you can tell, I'm outdoors this afternoon because it is just too beautiful to be inside recording. And I'm right now watching my two pups run around in the backyard. I've got the 2-year-old Piper and the 10-week-old Pippin having some fun outside. So I got to watch them, but this allows me to be outside and just enjoy this beautiful day. I know the lighting is terrible and this is not the best quality, but hey, we'll roll with it. You can hear the birds chirping in the background. You'll hear the dogs scuffling, and you'll get the ambiance of this recording. I'm coming to you right now because I am getting ready to start something new on my channel. I haven't streamed in a while just because of the life situations of, and here comes a Jeep, just life situations, new job, working on my health. As some of you may have noticed, I'm considerably lighter than I once was. I'm actually down 152 pounds. So that has been the main priority in my life. I wanted to get my health in order so I can have longevity, and it has went well, and I thank God for it. But for my channel on SDG Replays, I'm going to dive into something that I've seen many do. Al Red Sox fan Dave Little, Pop's Reviews, solo promoter, Legends of Wrestling, and that is play the cards and dice game Legends of Wrestling. And I am going to pursue that, and I'm going to have a promotion that is basically in my youth. I watched a lot of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling from Crockett Promotions. So I am basically picking up the 80s Crockett Promotions, and I've done that by a lot of the 80s wrestlers were in the Legends of Wrestling color starter set, but I also got expansion set one and two, which also had several, if not many, of those wrestlers in that era. But I also got online and got on some of the boards and got some bootlegs. I got a Jim Crockett Promotions bootleg and also a black and whites. And I also got, and I don't know how to pronounce this, is Bubuin, and got some color as well in the NWA Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling cards. So that's what we're going to do. I've got, to begin with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a tournament to have our first official champion. And I've come up with a name for my federation, and that's going to be Retro Wrestling Federation. So the RWF, we'll be looking for the first RWF heavyweight champion. So we're going to do that by doing a tournament. But I thought I'd do something interesting because within these cards, I have a lot of enhancement talent, or whatever you want to call them, the ones that took a beating every night on TV. And I'm going to do what I'm calling first a tomato can tournament. And what I did, and if you're familiar with Legends of Wrestling, I took every wrestler that I had cards on that had a 8-5 pin rating. In other words, 8 in the normal game and 5 in the advanced and higher, and put them in this tournament. And those have the privilege of the winner of that tournament to be included in the heavyweight, the RWF heavyweight championship tournament. And they have the pleasure of wrestling against the number 1 seed in that tournament. And so who are those wrestlers? And I thought I had them here with me, but let me look. I do. Hold on. I just had one in there that doesn't belong. They're just black and whites that I won't be using because I have colors. All right, here we go. Get out of those, girl. Hey, leave them alone. I've got a puppy that's wanting to get into my cards. So here we go. The first, the tournament will have, in the tomato can tournament, we'll have the Italian Stallion. He is a 8.5 pin rating. Some of these guys I don't remember. Rising Sun, number 2. He has an 8.5 pin rating. And again, this is in the tomato can tournament. We have the Golden Terror. He has a 9.6 pin rating. This is a man I remember all too well, Rocky King, who also has a 9.6 pin rating. Thunderbolt Patterson has an 8.5. And then Gene Ligon, an 8.5. Also, RPM LP. I'm sure he's part of a tag team that I don't remember. 8.5. And these are all from the 80s. So this is from 1980 to 89. Rocky Kernodle. He's an 8.5. And that is the background noise you're going to get. Joel Deaton, an 8.5. And then Mark Fleming, an 8.5. Here's the other part of that tag team, RPM DJ. And so that's going to be the tomato can tournament. I'm just going to seed them, pair them together. And the winner of that tournament will get the privilege of wrestling the #1 seed in this tournament. And that is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. So that will be the start of our tournament. And it's a 50-man tournament. And this is our wrestlers. So the way I seeded them, and I'm new to this, and people may have better suggestions as they come along. But what I did, I took their pin ratings and say, Ric Flair is a 4.1 pin rating, about the best you can get. So I based it on their pin ratings and seeded them accordingly, matching up 4 1s with 7 4s. And that's how it was seeded. So we're going to jump right into who we got matching up. And you'll have to excuse my dogs. Our first matchup is going to be Ron Garvin, who is a 6'3", against Ron Garvin against Chief Wahoo McDaniel, both 6'3s. That's one pairing. We have Manny Fernandez, the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez, who's a 6'3", against one part of the Rock and Roll Express, Robert Gibson, who's also a 6'3". We also have the wannabe Nature Boy. He calls himself the Nature Boy Buddy Landell, against Cowboy Ron Bass. We got this tough matchup, and I found this humorous. Anybody recognize that face? That's Scott Hall. But in the 80s, he wrestled as a tag team with the ridiculous name of Starship Coyote. He'll be facing off against the Barbarian. One of my favorite wrestlers during the 80s, and just because of his manic personality and the way he wrestled, was Buzz Sawyer. He'll be facing the other part of the Starship Eagle, and if you'll recognize him, that's none other than Danny Spivey. Starship, Coyote, and Eagle. I don't know what they're thinking. Then we have the matchup of Billy Jack Haynes against Thunderfoot, who I do not remember. Then we get into a beautiful color card. Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, will be matched up against Rising Sun, number 1. Then we have one of the original 4 horsemen, Tully Blanchard, facing off against Dirty Dick Slater. One of my favorite wrestlers during that time, Nikita Koloff, will be facing off against Don Kernodle. Got one half of the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton, facing off against Kendo Nagasaki. And the other half, Dennis Condrey, facing off against number 1, Paul Jones. Then Ivan Koloff facing off against Avalanche, Buzz Tyler. One of the craziest wrestlers I know of, Abdullah the Butcher, facing off against superstar Billy Graham. Terry Taylor will be matched, if I can get the card in the right direction here, against one of the goofiest looking wrestlers I remember, Johnny Weaver. Maybe that's not a kind thing to say, but did you see those ears? Then we have the total package, Lex Luger wrestling Denny Brown. The other half of the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, and he has the enviable task of being matched up with Arn Anderson. Then we have Magnum, that focus in, Magnum TA against Black Bart. Then Blackjack Mulligan against Pistol Pez Watley. Also, Barry Windham, who at one time was a member of the Four Horsemen, against Brett Wayne Sawyer. We got one half of the Road Warriors, Animal, against Hollywood, John Tatum. Then we got Brad Armstrong, who has to face off with the other half of the Road Warriors, Hawk. Then we have Crusher Khrushchev facing off against the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the son of a plumber. He's a tower of power, too sweet to be sour. Make you scream, howl, like Jerry Clower. That's my ridiculous and very poor Dusty Rhodes. Sounded nothing like him. Then we have Sam Houston matching up with Sting, the number 2 seed. And then again, we have the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, as our number 1 seed. And that will be the tournament. First, the Tomato Can tournament, and then the tournament for the Retro Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship. And I'm looking forward to having fun with that, and I hope you'll join me when I begin. Should be beginning within the week, starting with the Tomato Can tournament, and then on to our GWF. Our GWF. I don't know why I said that. RWF, Retro Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship. I hope you'll join me when I do. Hope you all have a great day. Enjoy this beautiful day. It's beautiful in my part of the world. I hope it is yours. Have a blessed day. Soli Deo Glory.